Good morning, student. Welcome to my class, BA second year, optional English, partition literature. So, student, today we will going to learn about the Train to Pakistan novel. There is a symbols, allegory, and motifs of novel. So, in our previous lecture, we also learned about the introduction this Train to Pakistan by Khushwant Singh's novel in 1956. So we will learn about the introduction of the novels, introduction of authors, and summary of the novels. Then we learn about the characters of the novels and themes of the novel. And today we will going to learn about the symbols, allegory, and motifs. First symbol is trains. So from the title alone, it's clear that a train plays a key role in Train to Pakistan. A form of quick public transportation, trains connect Manamazra to the rest of the world. The two trains that regularly stop serve as a type of clock for the largely illiterate Manamazra villagers. As the mail train rushes through on its way to Lahore, this signals to the village that it's time to get up and start the day. And when the final goods train comes in at night, everyone knows it's time for bed. Thus, from early on, the train symbolizes technology, order, and structure. This changes drastically when the first train of dead Sikh rolls into Manamazra. Until then, the chores affecting the rest of the country were only rumors. It's fitting that a train makes the distant tales of violence a harsh reality in Manamazra. Sadly, these death trends are not anomalies but semi-regular occurrences. Even Hukum Chand recounts a story recounts a story sorry recounts a story he heard about Sundar Singh, a colleague who fled Pakistan via train with his family. The conditions on the train were so horrific that Sundar ended up executing his family to spare them for continued sufferings. Suddenly, trains become symbolic of the horrors of religious persecution, government instability, and mob violence. Rather than being a vehicle that brings fleeing Sikh and Muslim to safety, trains are a death trap. So there is so many symbols. The train is a symbols of horror incident, and the train is technological, and this train is also the trap and religious persecutions. Next one is a symbol of bangles. Bangles, the typically worn by young women. We know about the bangles. Bangles make early appearance in the novel. Mali and his Dakat gang throw a package of bangles into Jugga's yard to taunt him after they murdered Lala Ramlal. Juga's mother finds the bangles before Juga does and attempts to use them to clear his name of Lal's murder, but to no avail. Later on the novel, when Sundari is raped by a Muslim mob 4 days after her marriage, she is wearing red lacquer bangles. Here is the lacquer means lac. Lacquer. Lacquer means lac. Wearing a red like your bangles. Her friend has told Sundari that taking off the bangles would bring bad luck, and that it's good luck for her husband to break them as he makes love to her. All the bangles break when the mob rapes her. The narrator ironically points out that this should have brought her tones of luck, which is the contrary of what happens. Rather, the broken bangle symbolizes Sundari's loss of sexual autonomy and the sexualized nature of the violence meted out. Sundari loss of sexual autonomy and sexualized nature of the violence meted out during the partition of India. Women were raped and men were circumcised by having their entire penises cut off, something that typically represents young womanhood and the possibilities of marriage comes to represent death and sexual violence. So, next symbol is a railway bridge. About a mile from Manomazra is a railway bridge that spans the Satluj River. The train in and out of Manomazra must cross this bridge, so it has an integral function. Similar to the train, it connects Manomazra to the outside world and facilitates the movement of people and goods to, from, and through the tiny town. In the later stages of the book, the bridge becomes the rallying point of the Muslim murder plot. There's rape tied across the bridge that's designed to kill the Muslims refugees sitting on top of the train. Once that happens, the mob stationed around the bridge are to begin attacking the Muslims inside of the train. At this point, the bridge is no longer a symbol of connectivity and a means of possible salvation for the fleeing Muslims, but a symbol of impending doom. Thankfully, Jugga climbs the bridge and cuts the rope, effectively sabotaging the mob's plot. Sabotaging means todfood. The mob's plot. Sorry. Tragically, Jugga is shot and falls to his death in the process of saving his Muslim neighbors and the other refugees. Thus, the bridge becomes a symbolic of him, his bravery, and his sacrifice. So, there is a bridge is uh, symbolic of Jugga's bravery and his sacrifice. Then next symbol, the meaning of freedom and the motive. The motive is a freedom must be a good thing, but what we will we go get out of it? So, freedom must be a good thing, but what we will we go get out of it? Freedom is an elusive idea, and instead of being in train to Pakistan, even the illiterate denizens of Manomazra seemingly connect with the quiet lives as farmers and tradespeople question what it truly means to be free of England's yoke. For example, in the above quote, the town's Lambadard wonder what he and his fellow villagers will get out of India's newfound freedom from England. For city dwellers like Iqbal, it is enough to be free from British colonization. However, rural Indians see it as trading one enslaver in the form of the English for another in the form of educated Indians and Pakistanis. Later on, when the violence plaguing the rest pledging the rest of the country reaches Manomazra, Some even speculate that life had been better under British rule, particularly for the Sikh and Muslim displaced and persecuted. Post revolution, their newfound freedom must taste of bitterness. Here is the motive, the meaning of freedom. Then next motive is the subjugations of women. Subjugations means adhinta. The women interned to Pakistan are little more than helpmates and target of sexualized violence in the partition. Our first glimpse of women in of Lala Ram Lal's wife and mother who attempt to hide Lal from the kids after they fell, we never see or hear from them again. The next woman to appear is Nooran Jugga's lover, who plays a minor role besides being one of Jugga's motivations for foiling the train plot. Similarly, there is Hasina, a young Muslim girl prostitute who picks Hukum Chand's sense of morality and makes him regret his inaction in the face of Muslim persecution. In this example, woman simply serves as a means of questioning men's ethics and morality. Later on, when a Sundari is introduced, we see how female bodies are subjugated and used as weapons of war in the struggle between Sikh and Muslim. The only exception seems to be Jugga's mother, who confronts her son over his decisions. Though we never learn her name, she seems to be the most independent woman in the novel. So, Jugga's mother is the most independent woman in this novel. So, there is the end of the novel. We will learn about the novels, introduction of the novels, introduction of authors, and summary of the novels, then character list of the novels, themes of the novels, symbols, allegory, and motives, and plot and setting. So, in this classic novel, Khushwant Singh tells about Sikhs and Muslims lived together in peace for hundreds of years. But the partition of Hindustan into India and Pakistan developed enmity and bitterness among them. After partition, there were Hindu Muslim riots in which thousands of innocent people were massacred, and this novel is based on such an incident. In this novel, Khushwant Singh portrayed a bitter truth of the partition and suffering of the people of all creeds and religions. Thank you, students.